everybody, welcome back to our channel on how to make money and be successful in the pharmaceutical industry. My name's Jane.
And I'm Althea, and as promised, we thought we would run through how to answer a competency-based question when you're in an interview with a star format answer. And today we're going to show you what that looks like by doing a little role play as though one of us is being interviewed. And that will just give you some insight what to expect when you go for your own interview and how to answer that question in a star format question and answer.
Because when you're in the interview and you're being asked competency-based questions, they're going to expect you to answer in this format, in the star format. So it's really crucial that you do formulate your answers and be quite fluent with them.
So the benefit of answering in a star format way is that it keeps your answer structured, and the interviewer will be able to follow along with what you're describing. And it just shows as well that you can formulate your answer in a structured way.
So as discussed, here is a quick rundown on what the star format looks like. So it's the situation, the task, action and result. So this is how they would expect you to respond to a competency-based question.
Now you've had that reminder of what the star format is, Jane and I will now do a demonstration of what that will look like when you're asked a competency-based question.
So each company, you know, they have different competencies that they're looking for, and the competency-based questions will be built around these. So they could be like drive for results, team working, business acumen, you know, there's all different things. So it would be a good idea to look up what their values are before you go into for the interview, so you'll know kind of where to base your answers around, or you know, preempt what their questions are going to be.
That's great, and I think it's a really valid point, Jane. As you go through the interview process, and you might be successful enough on your first interview, but every company has different values but pretty much reflect the same thing. So try and get some star examples together and then try and make them work for each of the competency-based questions. So Jane and I will now run through what a star example looks like to a competency-based question. So today I'm going to play the role as the interviewer. Jane has very kindly offered to be the person who's being interviewed. So imagine I'm the interviewer, and the first question I'm going to ask, and this is a typical question that you're likely to see, is, can you give me, Jane, an example of when you've had to overcome a challenge and drive for results?
Yes, I can actually. So when I was in my last position, one of my areas was very difficult to access. However, well, start again. Oh no,
well,
I'll start.
We still can. Okay, everybody, I don't know what Jane was thinking about there, but I think we're going to rephrase that, and hopefully Jane will remember to cut it out. So we'll start again. Jane, in your last role, can you give me an example of a time when you overcame a challenging situation and had to drive for results?
Yes, I can actually. In a previous role, I was working in North Yorkshire, and this is an area that's very difficult to access. However, the potential for business was extremely high. So my task here was to increase growth of my product in this area. So I had a historical relationship with the ICB lead, and I secured an appointment with him. But before the appointment, I gathered lots of information about it. So what I uncovered was that he had a high rate of hospital admissions in the area, and he needed to reduce that. So what I did was I looked at the figures and how my product would be a solution, give cost savings and would enable him to reinvest into the clinical services. And after collaborating with his colleagues, they agreed to switch all their patients over to my product. And the result of that was I had the largest growth in my region for the next quarter of 21%.
Thanks, Jane. That was a really easy way to understand how the situation, task, action, and result question is formulated. Now, you might think that you've answered that to the best of your ability and given them all the information that they need. But do expect this. Interviewers will often say after you've answered, "So, Jane, can you tell me that on reflection, how would you have done things differently to get a better result?"
Actually, on reflection, yes, I would have done things differently. I would have gone in to see his colleagues first before going in to see the key decision maker and gathered more information.
Thanks, Jane. They might not ask you that, but it's always good to be prepared when you go in for your own interview, that even though you might have a star question and star format answer prepared, that they might ask you for a little bit more information. So just retain that as a kind of just in case contingency, just to expand on what they've already asked you. Try not to end it with, "I have no idea," because there's no such thing as a perfect solution. Thanks for joining us today, guys, and we hope you've enjoyed how to do a star format question and answer. Our next video is going to be a discussion about resilience, because getting into the pharmaceutical industry is highly challenging and competitive, and it will probably take you a while to break into this environment. But don't lose heart. Our next video, we're going to talk about resilience and the kind of reasons why you might not be successful and what you can do to improve your chances. So please join us again.
So if you could subscribe to our channel, press notifications so you don't miss any of our up and coming videos, and share them to any colleagues, that you think that may be useful for. Also, comments, put something in the comments. If there's anything that you would like for us to cover or any questions that you have, then please ask, because we'll be more than willing to help you.
Okay, guys, so that's all from us today. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you again soon. We hope it's been helpful and look forward to hearing about your success at interview. But now I just have one more question for my colleague, Jane. Now, Jane, can we talk about Married at First Sight Australia?
Music to my ears, yes. Shall we jump on another call? I think we've heard that one.
Bye for now.
Bye.